Welcome back to the channel, where we prove every single day that common sense isn't always common on the road. Today, we've got a fresh compilation of the wildest crashes, most expensive mistakes, and heart-stopping near misses that'll have you reaching for your brake pedal from your couch. From rogue tires to drivers who think red lights are just suggestions, we're diving into the absolute chaos of the highway. Grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's see who's winning or losing at the game of road roulette today. If you're looking for the quickest way to remove your front bumper, this is it. Although I'd suggest a mechanic over a ditch next time.
Oh boy, here we go.
We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up. Wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up.
Never argue with something 10 times your size. This driver definitely wasn't in the mood to share the lane today.
What the fuck was that? Are you fucking serious?
Apparently, no one is obeying the traffic light today. Look at drivers just casually driving through the red traffic light. Can you hear that? That's the sound of 5 insurance agents' hearts breaking at the exact same time. One distracted driver, and suddenly it's a buy one, get 4 free deal on rear-end collisions.
Oh shit!
Someone's guardian angel was working overtime at that intersection. That SUV driver used up all 9 lives in about 3 seconds. I'm not sure what's tighter here, that lane or the driver's grip on the steering wheel. This driver skipped the turn signal and went straight for the heart attack maneuver.
Oh shit!
GPS in 200 feet turned right into a lawsuit. This driver took that instruction very literally. This is a perfect example of why you shouldn't get too comfortable on slushy roads. That slide happened so fast there was almost zero time to react. Dashcam Driver of the Year award goes to this person. Avoiding a broadside collision at that speed takes some serious focus. Meanwhile, the truck driver is just out here living in his own world. This silver sedan really thought they were the only car on the road today. They didn't just pull out blindly, they pulled out with total confidence. Can you imagine trying to explain this to your insurance agent without the dash cam footage? Yes, hello? A house fell on my car. This is a nightmare scenario for any driver. Cutting across 3 lanes in the rain without a signal? That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for his insurance premium. Forget the crash for a second. Look at that red double-decker bus. It squeezed through that gap like it was trying to win a game of Tetris. This driver went from thinking about what's for lunch to rethinking his entire life in under 3 seconds. That's one way to get an afternoon adrenaline shot without the coffee. That is one very expensive way to check your tire tread. 1 second you're cruising, the next you're doing a full 360 under the bridge. When you're trying to leave work on a Friday and the universe is not so fast. This driver decided to do a gymnastics routine in the middle of the freeway. 10 over 10 for the rotation, but the landing definitely needs some work. Talk about conflict of interest. When the ambulance becomes the patient, you know it's going to be a long day. I guess the driver really liked that shade of yellow and wanted to take a piece of it home.
Always pay attention to the road, especially if you're driving a massive truck. This Mazda driver clearly thinks they're the star of their own action movie. Pity they forgot the part where you don't actually hit the other cars. Talk about express delivery. I don't think that's what the sign meant by drive-through. This driver was clearly in a hurry to get to the snack aisle.
My God!
Rules of the road? Never heard of them. This driver treated that left turn only lane like a VIP pass. This SUV driver clearly thinks the road is their personal runway. No signal, no space, just pure audacity. The dash cam says school zone ahead, but it forgot to mention the main character pulling out blindly zone.
School zone ahead. The speed limit is 40 kilometers.
Jesus!
The guys on the radio are talking about sustainability, but I don't think this SUV driver's habits are sustainable for long.
Have a players union and sign contracts with these schools that can maybe be more than a year so we can have some degree of continuity between the teams, because I don't know that this is sustainable for what we all loved about the sport.
Well, look, the only reason it's working, in my opinion, is the tournament.
Too bad they forgot that the rest of us are actually trying to get home in one piece. That merge was as smooth as sandpaper.
Человек может все.
Все хотят, чтобы ты сдался.
Я хочу невозможного.
Если говорят, что ты чего-то не можешь, сделай это. И все.
Чем труднее битва, тем слаще победа.
A classic case of blind faith turning. That red car didn't even hesitate before cutting across oncoming traffic.
Dude, what the? Okay, wait, you pull over, get out of the intersection, babe. Do you want to check to make sure everyone's alright?
Yeah.
Second time.
Rules of the road are just suggestions for some folks. Stay safe out there, everyone. This guy is playing real-life GTA, but he forgot that life doesn't have a respawn button. Weaving through traffic like that is a great way to turn your car into a very expensive lawn ornament. And just like that, the ego meets the wall. A textbook example of why overcorrecting at high speed is a terrible idea. Our dashcam driver did a great job holding the line here. Getting clipped at that speed is a nightmare, but they stayed calm while the SUV ahead went into full-on tumble mode.
没事没事没事没事。谁的责任呢？我操！吓死我了！没事，没事没事，你没事吧？他没事吧？宝宝。
This rider was in such a hurry to beat traffic that he decided to take a shortcut across the pavement. 10 over 10 for the weave, 0 over 10 for the landing. The white car driver clearly thought the coast was clear, but the intersection had other plans. I didn't realize this was an off-roading event. If you're going to jump the curb and cut off a whole line of traffic, at least try to use a blinker. This Audi driver decided to turn his car into a real-life Beyblade. Talk about a high-stakes pirouette in the middle of traffic.
Sorry, I'm just pulling up to it now. It's the, oh my god. Oh, it's crushed! Oh my god!
Talk about a rough start to the commute. That white car had zero time to react to the surprise guest in its lane. They say a good driver sometimes misses their exit, but a bad driver never misses theirs. This driver wanted to give the van a high five, but the van wanted a hug instead.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Physics lesson of the day. Two objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna stop right here real quick.
A split-second decision turned a quiet, rainy drive into a total loss for two vehicles. This driver decided that waiting for oncoming traffic was merely a suggestion. Luckily, the camera was actually paying attention. That tire decided it wanted its independence and almost took out a sedan to prove a point. Apparently, this driver thought they were in an action movie. Unfortunately, the stunts didn't go as planned. This is a textbook example of why you give trucks a massive lead on snowy roads. You never know when they're going to decide to take up both lanes.
Oh no!
Talk about an expensive way to save 5 minutes. This guy tried to overtake the whole line and ended up giving everyone on the road a front row seat to a disaster. That's one way to check your engine oil in a hurry, although I'd usually recommend a driveway over the back of a bus for a maintenance check. Talk about quick reflexes. This witness didn't hesitate for a second. Rushing toward a crash on a wet, slippery road takes some serious guts. Apparently, checking your mirrors is optional when you have main character energy. That ute came out of the darkness like a jump scare in a horror movie.
Environmental approval for the solar will have been a major component. There will need to be electrical aspects associated with getting the electricity up to Darwin and from Darwin across the ocean.
I guess looking both ways is just a suggestion when you've got places to be. Incredible that the car landed upright after a flip like that. Nothing like a casual conversation about politics in Belgium to be interrupted by a high-speed jump scare. This white sedan really thought they were the only car on the road tonight. Cutting off a car while overtaking on a blind stretch in the rain, that's a lot of bad decisions packed into 10 seconds. A split-second decision to skip the queue almost turned into a 3-car pileup. Stay alert out there, folks. A quiet night, a romantic story, and a sudden reality check. That red sedan is absolutely totaled.
His hand in possession of me. I lay still, soaking in the fragrance and the feeling. Then he lay beside me and we kissed. I reveled in our passion and the growing rush of sensations. I want you, Elliot. And I did. I wanted more of him. All of him. We made a good couple. A good-looking couple. We could have a wonderful life.
That black car had 0 time to dodge. This is exactly why you double-check your tie-downs before hitting the highway. This driver really thought they were the only ones on the road today. I guess blinker fluid was sold out at the last station, too. If you ever needed a reason to look both ways and then look again, this is it. A split-second mistake in timing turned this T-junction into a disaster zone. I didn't realize they held Olympic figure skating trials on wet forest roads. That black car really went for the triple axle. The classic bump and jump maneuver. This driver really thought they were in a cartoon.